If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. So download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes and is not intended to influence substance experimentation. During our first episode of the Organic Matrix podcast, we spoke to Alex Chamizo. Alex Chamizo and I met each other at a company called Live Ultimate. He is a Reiki practitioner and a wellness advocate. During our episode, Alex gave the audience a few tips on the mind-bending ways of hallucinogens. Alex said that basically, whatever you're going through is going to be amplified. He advised that if you're under stress or a whirlwind of emotions, tripping might not be the best choice to make. Psychedelics can actually turn up the volume on the things that we may be avoiding. Alex recommends to make sure that you're in a good headspace before partaking on such an endeavor. If you're curious about the mushroom experience, start with the smallest dose. Alex thinks that mushrooms are meant to be taken outside in nature, around the trees and the grass. He believes that it's important to have people around you that you trust and that you love. It also helps when you can have your favorite music playing. Speaking to Alex inspired me to do more research on psychedelics and to also be aware of the possible side effects that these mind-bending hallucinogens can have. So our first question is, what are psychedelics? Psychedelics are a class of drug that alters cognition and perception, typically by stimulating serotonin receptors in the brain. Although psychedelics drugs have been used for thousands of years for religious, spiritual, and recreational purposes, scientific research on them has been hampered by legal restrictions. Many psychedelic substances are illegal worldwide under the UN Convention on Psychotropic Substances and other international agreements. However, there is a growing body of evidence that some psychedelics may have therapeutic benefits for certain psychiatric disorders. For example, treatment-resistant depression. When administered under carefully controlled medical settings, the effects of psychedelics can vary significantly. Depending on the substance, dosage, and user, they generally fall into three main categories: sensory effects, which are visual effects, cognitive effects, which are our thoughts, and physical effects, which are like sensations. This drug may cause hallucinations, and it can change how you experience the world. It can also alter your sense of self. These drugs include LSD, which is acid, psilocybin, which comes from magic mushrooms, mescaline, Peyote San Pedro cactus, gotta say that 3 times fast, and DMT, dimethyltryptamine. If you can comment below how I can say that the right way, I'll give you a high five. And AMT, alpha methyltryptamine, and ketamine. They are most commonly ingested in the mouth as a pill, powder, or liquid form. They produce an altered state of consciousness that can last up to 12 hours. The effects of psychedelic use can be unpredictable and vary widely from person to person, based on tolerance level, mental health status, and the mood of the time of ingestion. Here are some side effects to keep in mind. Some side effects can occur once or twice, while others can become more frequent as you continue using psychedelics regularly. Some of these side effects include panic attacks, psychosis, experiencing things that aren't real, such as hearing voices or seeing things that aren't there, which are hallucinations, flashbacks, reliving previous experiences after taking psychedelics. These flashbacks can cause anxiety. The legalization of psychedelics has sparked a renaissance in scientific research. Psychedelic drugs are now being used in studies as possible treatments for depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder, and addiction. Resurgence of interest in psychedelics has also resulted in an incredibly popular culture surrounding them. In recent years, festivals like Burning Man Celebrate psychedelic culture. These festivals has sprung up across the country. Burning Man takes place in the Black Rock Desert in Nevada. The popularity of psychedelic drugs has resulted in more people taking them recreationally, either at home or festivals like Burning Man. However, there are risks associated with psychedelic use, and these are the things you should be aware of before you start taking them. Dangers of psychedelics. The most common risks associated with psychedelics include overdose in some cases. People have taken large doses of psychedelics have suffered from panic attacks, heart problems, severe gastrointestinal problems, and vomiting. These symptoms can be fatal if severe enough or left untreated. Hallucinations. Some people can experience terrifying hallucinations on psychedelic drugs, such as LSD, psilocybin, which are mushrooms. Using psychedelics is no joke, so please use this information to keep yourself safe and be aware of what can happen if these substances are abused. If you have any questions about psychedelics, feel free to leave a comment down below and I'll get to your question as soon as possible. If you found this video insightful, please share it to a friend. To see more content like this, like and share. Little things like that dramatically help our channel, and we're super grateful for your support. And here's your bonus tip. Always prioritize the sourcing of whatever substance, herb that you're going to take. The sources are so important. You don't want anything sprayed with pesticides. You don't want any research chemicals. We have to honor our temple and make sure that we're safe during these times. And here's another bonus tip. Be aware of your mental status before you experiment with things like this. Some things are hard to forget, and these flashbacks and trips can last years. There's a phenomenon called a permatrip where you can be getting flashbacks of a impacting psychedelic trip for years beyond the moment you took them. So take that with a grain of salt, and please stay safe out there. If you're interested in learning more about mushrooms and the world of herbs and tinctures, check out our website, www.organicmatrix.net. We look forward to seeing you on the next download.